SHRI Ramayana, Aranya Kanda, book number 3, Sarga 49, Roman numeral XLIX 49, the rape of SITÁ. The Rakshas monarch thus addressed, his hands a while together pressed, and straight before her startled eyes stood monstrous in his giant size. Then to the lady, with the lore of eloquence, he spoke once more. Thou scarce, he cried, hast heard aright the glories of my power and might. I, born sublime, in air can stand, and with these arms upheave the land. Drink the deep flood of ocean dry, and death with conquering force defy. Pierce the great sun with furious dart, and to her depths cleave earth apart. See, thou whom love and beauty blind, I wear each form as wills my mind. As thus he spake in burning ire, his glowing eyes were red with fire. His gentle garb aside was thrown, and all his native shape was shown. Terrific, monstrous, wild, and dread, as the dark god who rules the dead. His fiery eyes in fury rolled, his limbs were decked with glittering gold. Like some dark cloud the monster showed, and his fierce breast with fury glowed. The ten-faced rover of the night, with 20 arms exposed to sight, his saintly guise aside he laid, and all his giant height displayed. Attired in robes of crimson dye, he stood and watched with angry eye. The lady in her bright array, resplendent as the dawn of day. When from the east the sunbeams break, and to the dark-haired lady spake, if thou would call that Lord thine own, whose fame in every world is known, look kindly on my love and be bride of a consort meet for thee. With me let blissful years be spent, for ne'er thy choice shalt thou repent. No deed of mine shall e'er displease my darling as she lives at ease. Thy love for mortal men resign, and to a worthier Lord incline. Ah, foolish lady, seeming wise in thine own weak and partial eyes, by what fair graces art thou held to Rama from his realm expelled? Misfortunes all his life attend, and his brief days are near their end. Unworthy prince, infirm of mind, a woman spoke, and he resigned his home and kingdom and withdrew from troops of friends and retinue, and sought this forest dark and dread, by savage beasts inhabited. Thus Ravan urged the lady meet, for love whose words were soft and sweet. Near and more near the giant pressed, as love's hot fire inflamed his breast. The leader of the giant crew his arm around the lady threw. Thus Buddha, with ill-omened might, steals Rohini's delicious light. One hand her glorious tresses grasped, one with its ruthless pressure clasped. The body of his lovely prize, the mighty dame with lotus eyes. The sylvan gods in wild alarm marked his huge teeth and ponderous arm, and from that death-like presence fled, of mountain size and towering head. Then seen was Ravan's magic car, aglow with gold, which blazed afar. The mighty car which asses drew, thundering as it onward flew. He spared not harsh rebuke to chide the lady as she moaned and cried. Then with his arm about her waist, his captive in the car he placed. In vain he threatened, long and shrill, rang out her lamentation still. O Rama, which no fear could stay, but here, but her dear Lord was far away. Then rose the fiend, and toward the skies bore his poor, helpless, struggling prize. Hurrying through the air above, the dame who loathed his proffered love, so might a soaring eagle bear a serpent's consort through the air. As on he bore her through the sky, she shrieked aloud her bitter cry. As when some wretch lips complain in agony of maddening pain. O Lakshman, thou whose joy is still to do thine elder brother's will. This fiend, who all disguises wears, from Rama's side his darling tears. Thou who couldst live, bliss, fortune all, ye life itself at duty's call. Dost thou not see this outrage done to hapless me, O Raghu's son? 'Tis thine, O victor of the foe, to bring the hardiest spirit low. How canst thou such an outrage see, and let the guilty fiend go free? Ah, seldom in a moment's time comes bitter fruit of sin and crime. But in the day of harvest pain comes like the ripening of the grain. So thou whom fate and folly lead to ruin for this guilty deed, shall die by Rama's arm ere long, a dreadful death for hideous wrong. Ah, too successful in their ends are Queen Kaikei and her friends. When virtuous Rama, dear to fame, is mourning for his ravished dame. Ah me, a long farewell to lawn and glade and forest dell. In Janastan's wild region where the acacia trees are bright and fair, with all your tongues to Rama say that Ravan bears his wife away. Farewell, a long farewell to thee, O pleasant stream Godavari, whose rippling waves are ever stirred by many a glad wild water bird. All ye to Rama's ear relate the giant's deed and Sita's fate. O all ye gods who love this ground, where trees of every leaf abound, tell Rama I'm stolen hence. I pray you all with reverence. On all the living things beside, that these dark boughs and coverts hide. Ye flocks of birds, ye troops of deer, I call on you my prayer to hear. All we to Rama's ear proclaim that Ravan tears away his dame. With forceful arms his darling wife, dearer to Rama than his life. Oh, if he knew I dwelt in hell, my mighty Lord, I know full well, would bring me, conqueror, back today, though Yama's self reclaimed his prey. Thus from the air the lady sent, with piteous voice, her last lament. And as she wept, she chanced to see the vulture on a lofty tree. As Ravan bore her swiftly by, on the dear bird she bent her eye, and with a voice which woe made faint, renewed to him her wild complaint. O see the king who rules the race of giants, cruel, fierce, and base. Ravan, the spoiler, bears me hence, the helpless prey of violence. This fiend who roves in midnight shade, by thee, dear bird, can ne'er be stayed. For he is armed and fierce and strong, triumphant in the power to wrong. For thee remains one only task, to do, kind friend, the thing I ask. To Rama's ear by thee be born, how Sita from her home is torn. And to the valiant Lakshman tell the giant's deed and what befell. Absolutely beautiful. Shri Ramayana, the greatest love story ever told. When God walked this earth as if an ordinary man. Jai Shri Ram, Hail Ram, Roma Victa, Victory to Rama. Larger than life, Rome and Christ, Rama and Krishna. Ciao.